A lot of golfers will be stuck when they're choosing their new irons. You might be thinking, do I need game improvement irons? Do I need players distance irons? That's what we're talking about today in this video. Today guys, we have two options from TaylorMade. Two fantastic clubs, but which one should you be choosing? Which one are going to help you lower your scores and save you the most amount of money? Which I will explain. Now, a lot of people, when you go for a fitting, you might be a higher handicapper, you might have just got into the game, you might even be a senior golfer looking for some more forgiveness. And straight away, people might fit you into game improvement irons, but you have to decide, what are you working on? Are you trying to improve? Are you looking to change certain things in your golf swing? Because if you are, although these clubs are incredibly easy to launch, come off with a great ball speed, nice and high, with a soft landing angle, they still might not be the right clubs for you, and they might actually cost you more money, although the shelf price might be less. In the long run, cost you more. Because if you're working on your game, or you're trying to improve, you're trying to change a few things, you might get a little bit better with those clubs, you might get a little bit more consistency, you drop your handicap, you have a great season, you go from the 30s or the 20s down into the low teens, and then we all know what you want to do. You want to change clubs, you want something that's a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact behind the golf ball, and this is where the P770, for example, with TaylorMade could be the perfect middle ground, because again, behind the golf ball, a lot sleeker looking, still have stronger lofts to help you get a little bit more ball speed, a little bit more distance, but also are hollow bodied to get enough launch. And if you get the right shaft and the right setup, even with a missed strike like that one there, we're still going to get a good launch, we're going to get the ball down there, and we're going to get some kind of consistency. Because where it's going to save you money is exactly what I mentioned earlier, that if you go into these are clubs where you could get better, you could be a single figure golfer and use these because behind the golf ball they look good. Again, your interaction with the turf will probably change, and they're not too big, they're not too clunky, and they're one of the best on the market in the players distance category. So when it comes to these irons, obviously there's only one man we need to test these, because if you're looking for golf clubs, if you're looking for more forgiveness, then I think it's the P770 or a certain other club. The QI irons and such ones as the Paradigm irons or even your G440s are not always going to be the best of both worlds. Right Dave, so come on in, we're going to start you off with that QI iron. So we know that you've got some different irons which we will get to, but straight away here, game improvement irons that you've been fitted to before, and what are your first thoughts that when you think about these?
I think they look very similar to a lot of other game improvement irons. Quite a thick top line, looks like there's plenty of offset. Same old really.
Yeah, not always the right club for everybody, but Dave's going to hit a shot with each of the three different clubs we now have. And for me, this is just where, if you do go for a fitting, make sure that you are testing all options. So make sure that even if you are looking at game improvement irons, could you go for that player's distance option if you're working on your game? Offset is a big talking point, just like that. It wasn't Dave's best swing, but offset often does that, closes the club down and encourages that golf ball to go left. And if you don't like the look of it behind the golf ball, it can have a negative effect.
It didn't fill me with a lot of confidence, Chris, I have to say.
No.
Didn't help it. Wasn't the best swing in the world.
No, so it wasn't the best swing. But let's come in with the P770 now. We know what we're getting here, so we know we're getting that thinner top edge. We're getting a lot more compact look. If we put that next to the QI35, for example, we can see massive differences there. A lot less offset, a lot sleeker looking, and behind the golf ball probably looks a little bit better on your eye. But does that matter? Will that change Dave's performance? I'm going to say yes, even before he's hit it. No
Love your
pressure,
confidence,
Dave.
Chris. Love your confidence.
Straight away there, a better launch, a straighter ball flight straight towards that flag and chasing past that. So you might be thinking, if you haven't watched the channel guys, what club can be another option from here? This right here is the option we're talking about, and that is Dave's 11 Hybrids. So again, we can see plenty of loft on this hybrid. There's a few different technologies in here to make it even more forgiving than those game improvement irons. So we know with these hybrids we're going to get that little bit more forgiveness across the face. They are designed to launch a little bit higher, which is certainly something a lot of people in these irons are looking for. And we've certainly got that straight away there. Going down towards the flag, and you can see hitting it too well, so there probably
could have caught it a bit.
Need to club down in these conditions, but three very different options for the same kind of golfer. Let's jump on a par 3 now. Let's see which one does the nearest the pin. Get in those comments below guys, which one would you be favouring towards? Par 3 now. We're going to get some numbers on screen as well with the GolfJoy Spiker 3, which is a fantastic addition to the channel to get out here and give you some live numbers. Starting with the 11 Hybrid here. Again, a great launch, just drawing to that left-hand side of the green. Right up there, Dave. So numbers-wise, what is it saying?
It was a 140 carry.
So 140 carry, going out to 143. So you can see that on screen, because I've got that on my phone as well. So, pretty interesting numbers there. So, it stopped pretty quickly, a nice fly, and that's into the breeze. Sorry, Dave, I didn't give you a golf ball, did I? I know, what is last slave dive, everybody. Right, guys, if you're enjoying the channel, get in those comments below. What else do you want to see us test? What clubs are you going for? And have you been fitted for game improvement irons, and how are you getting on? Because I certainly think there is a place, but sometimes they're also misfitted. There are other options out there like those 11 Hybrids, or potentially a P770-esque iron. Right, straight away a lower trajectory than the Hybrid, but distance wise landing shorter, Dave, and
short,
running out.
but rolling on, the can't having much spin on it.
So you'll see there on screen as Dave looks at the numbers, because I've got them on my phone, 130 carry running out to 145, Dave. So yeah, exactly what we saw from that trajectory. Let's come in, I'll give you a ball first before you start making demands.
Well, you know what it's like.
And we're in with the P770.
One job and all that.
Oh, not P770, the P790, I apologise. So, let's have a look. Very popular club here, probably TaylorMade's best-selling golf club for me. And there's certainly a reason why, because these are a fantastic iron. So higher launch than the QI 35 irons, but out to the right, again shorter. Carry, what was that, Dave?
It's 125 carry.
125, so certainly lost a lot of distance off a mistrike there from the P790. We're going to go one more with that, Dave, because I don't feel like you've given that its best representation. And I'm blaming you, not the club or the ball there. I know you wouldn't, Dave, personally.
No, definitely not.
No, it was the conditions, everything. So let's go one more here, because this should be probably carrying very similar to that QI, maybe even further. Fantastic launch there, very similar line to the other two. Carrying the same. So guys, obviously you will have just seen that 7-iron there from that P790, but the audio didn't work. But it went 139 carry, running out to 147 and low 6,000 spin. So you can see that it did go a little bit higher than the QI game improvement iron, but not as high as that Hybrid. So certainly something to consider, because the P790 there probably worked better for Dave because it looked a little bit better behind the golf ball. It didn't have as much offset, but his hybrids are working well. So plenty of different options for you to think about, but if you're a higher handicapper, if you're looking for more forgiveness, don't just go straight to those game improvement irons. There are plenty of other options on the market. But guys, if you're enjoying the content, smash that subscribe button. We'll see you again soon.